Hi, I'm Chris Jordan, and today we're going to continue looking at the BULATS short listening question. In the last video, we began to look at the short listening question with text instead of pictures, and if you haven't seen that already, then you might want to take a look at that first before watching further, as this video will build on what we looked at earlier. If you remember last time, we looked at listings where the A, B and C options were mentioned in the same words, both in the question and the listening. And in fact, it was the exact same words in the question and listening. So we had candidate 1, for example, or service standards. However, we also need to remember that sometimes the words used in the question are different from what we hear in the listening. That means we need to make sure we're listening for the same meaning, but not necessarily the same words. Let's listen to another short listening text question and give it a try. In this question, all these points are referred to. However, you won't hear the words distance, salary, or unexciting. Instead, you're going to need to listen for words or phrases with the same meaning. This is a really important skill for most listening and reading exams, and it's often called paraphrasing, expressing the same meaning but using different words. So once we've looked at the keywords in the question, we can think about how the options A, B and C might relate to the question. Why might the woman not take the job because of the distance? Is it too far? Why might she say no because of the salary? Is the pay too low? And what might she say about the work? Is it too boring? After we've thought about this, we're going to be ready to start the recording. Now, remember, you'll have 2 chances to listen, so do your best to find the answer the first time. Then listen again to check. If you couldn't answer it after the first time, can you eliminate A, B or C? Why doesn't the woman take the job?
Hi, James. I'm just calling to thank you for the job offer, but to say that I'm afraid I can't accept it. I talked with my husband and we just feel that it's not a good time to move to another city right now. Although the pay is very good and I'm sure it would be an interesting challenge. So I think I'll keep looking for a job closer to home.
Oh, we're sorry to hear that, but thank you for calling to let us know.
Why doesn't the woman take the job?
Hi, James. I'm just calling to thank you for the job offer, but to say that I'm afraid I can't accept it. I talked with my husband and we just feel that it's not a good time to move to another city right now. Although the pay is very good and I'm sure it would be an interesting challenge. So I think I'll keep looking for a job closer to home.
Oh, we're sorry to hear that, but thank you for calling to let us know.
Okay, so let's take a look. So we see the pay is good, so there's no problem with the salary. And she thinks it would be an interesting challenge, so it's not unexciting. But it's not a good time to move to another city, and that means it's too far. She also says, I'll keep looking for something closer to home, and this should help confirm that the correct answer is in fact A, the distance. As we mentioned, listening or reading for paraphrased information is a really important skill in English exams, and it's going to take some practice. It'll also help if we're able to continue building our vocabulary, and we're going to talk more about that in the videos on vocabulary in this BULATS preparation series. But for now, it can be a good idea just to highlight and learn unfamiliar vocabulary in these short listenings, especially as they generally include common language about common topics. Now, let's finish up with one more of these questions. So again, you're going to need to listen for the same meanings, but not necessarily the same words. And don't forget, you're going to hear this recording twice.
Who's going to replace Elaine as manager?
Well, Our original plan was to promote one of her team leaders, as they know the job really well, but neither was interested in the opportunity. So we decided to look for someone else in the company we could transfer. But just yesterday, the boss told us she'd prefer an external hire, as it might bring in some fresh ideas. We're going to need to talk with our internal applicants to let them know the situation.
Who's going to replace Elaine as manager?
Well, our original plan was to promote one of her team leaders, as they know the job really well, but neither was interested in the opportunity. So we decided to look for someone else in the company we could transfer. But just yesterday, the boss told us she'd prefer an external hire, as it might bring in some fresh ideas. We're going to need to talk with our internal applicants to let them know the situation.
Now you can look to see if you caught the right meaning. Okay, first of all, they wanted to find someone from the same team, but those people didn't want to do it. So they looked for a person from another part of the company they could bring into the department. But what we needed to notice is that the boss wants an external hire, and that means a person from outside the company. So as you see, it's really important when we're doing these listings that we don't just try to catch specific words. Instead, we need to really focus on listening for the right meanings. With a little practice, this becomes easier, so it's great to practice as much as you can with these questions. Well, in this video and the previous one, we've looked at BULATS shortlisting questions with text rather than pictures, and we've focused on 3 types of question. In the last video, we looked at questions where the answer is directly mentioned in the listing, as we had in the listing with candidates 1, 2, and 3. We also looked at questions where the answer is indirectly mentioned. So we had "let's cut that one," meaning the quality service training session. Now in this video, we've had questions where the answer is a paraphrase of the question. "Not a good time to move," meaning the distance is a problem, or an external hire, meaning someone from outside the company. Well, this brings us to the end of our video today, and we hope you've found it useful. But remember, for more help preparing for the BULATS test or preparing your workplace English ability, please check out our other videos in this series. Thank you for watching and good luck.